Welcome to Lesson 2, Order of Operations with Fractions. Performing our order of operations with fractions is the same as when we did decimals, in that we will follow BEDMAS. So looking at example 1 here, we will start with the brackets. In the brackets, we have to subtract 3 over 4 from 1/2. I'm going to change this so we are adding the opposite. 1 1/3 times 1/2 plus -3/4 squared. Now when we add fractions, we need to find a common denominator. Between 2 and 4, that is 4. So -3 over 4 is fine. Just the first fraction needs to be multiplied by 2. So 2 over 4 plus -3 over 4. When we add fractions, we don't add the denominators, we just add the numerators. 2 plus -3 is -1. So what we now have is 1 1/3 times -1 over 4 squared. Now we can move on to do the exponents. That's what follows next in BEDMAS. So we have to square -1/4. So squaring -1/4 means we times it by itself. -1 over 4 times -1 over 4. And when we multiply fractions, you just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. And if I do that here, you see I get a +1 over 16. This becomes 1 1/3 times 1 over 16. So now we just have multiplication left to do. Before I multiply these, I need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 gives me 4 over 3 times 1 over 16. Now before I multiply, I'm going to look to see if I can reduce the fractions. I see that 4 and 16 can both be divided by 4. So that leaves me with a 1 here and a 4 here. Now let's multiply. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 4 is 12. So our answer is 1 over 12. Now example 2, we will simplify this expression once again by following BEDMAS. We'll have to start with those brackets. 5 over 6 minus -1/3. And once again, we're going to change this so that we're adding the opposite. -2/3 divided by 5 over 6 plus +1/3. Now when we add fractions, we need our common denominator once again. So between 6 and 3, that is 6. So we have 5 over 6 plus, and then 1/3 becomes 2 over 6. Now adding those numerators, 5 plus +2 gives us 7 over 6. So we have -2 over 3 divided by 7 over 6 times 3 1/2. So we have a division and a multiplication left. According to the order of operations, we do those from left to right. So we will start with division. When we divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So -2 over 3 stays as is, but division becomes a times, and 7 over 6 becomes 6 over 7. Now I'll go off to the side here to actually multiply these. And when I do that, I will look for any simplification that can occur first. Between 3 and 6, I can divide both of those numbers by 3. 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 6 twice. Now let's multiply. Negative 2 times 2, and then 1 times 7. So this becomes now negative 4 over 7 times 3 and a half. So one more step. We have to multiply negative 4 over 7 by 3 and 1/2. And we'll once again have to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. 3 and 1/2 becomes 7 over 2. Negative 4 over 7 times 7 over 2. We can simplify a few numbers here. 7 into 7 once, and 2 into 2, and 2 into 4. And multiplying gives me negative 2 over 1, or we can just write the answer as negative 2.